All right, so we got the caliper loose, and now it's time to get this broken stud out. So getting it out is pretty easy. I've already backed it up a little. You just have to thump it and give it a few thumps, and it'll back out of there. You got to get it oriented in the right spot to come out. But since it's short, you should be able to work it out of there, unless it just broke off right at the end. But getting the new long one in is not so easy on the backs of these cars. Apparently, they don't make any provisions for you to put that in there, and I've already took the brakes off. Can't get it like that. So it looks like the only way we're going to get this stud back in there is to take the hub off. And so what we got to do with that is a 1.25 inch socket, and we're going to put it on our impact driver, and hopefully we'll have enough oomph out of this impact driver to get this off. And we'll put it back on there with the same and just hit it till it comes down. So let's see. All right, so we got the big nut off, and so what we want to do now is try to see if we can pull this whole hub forward, but it's held on the back with some Torx head bolts, so you have to get a Torx head, but 3 of them looks like you can access, but the shock is in the way of the other one. So what we're going to have to do is take the shock loose, get it out of the way. So we just want to get something to hold the suspension up. So we're just going to put a jack underneath it. We're not going to jack it up. We're actually just going to hold it in place. Let's get a jack under it. And we just want to hold it in place so we can take the shock out. All right, so now we got that. All we got to do is take the shock loose. And we'll see if we can't push it up. If not, we'll take it loose from the top. Since we got the jack under it, we should be able to slip the bolt right out. So now the shock is free to move. What we're going to do is lift it up out of the way so we can have some room to put a wrench in there. I'm just going to tie that shock over to the side right there so it won't pinch my fingers. All right, so with the shock out of the way, we should be able to access that last bolt there. You can't really get a wrench in there very well on the back side. So what we need to do is actually push this shaft in just a little bit. So we're gonna just get it doesn't take much force, it's not connected to it. So all we're gonna do is just grab it and just ever so slightly push the axle in and get it out of the way of the wrench there. All right, so now hopefully we can break these through. So you can't see it on the video, but it's the bolts that are holding this whole hub. You can see the ends of the bolts on this side. They're to the back. So that one, the shock is in the way of, and so we have to break all them free. So now we should be able to access all of those. So we got it pulled out a little bit. So now, hopefully we can have enough room that we can take the spring and the load off here and slip that right in behind there. Then we just have to tighten those back up. Then we got it in there. So let's take our spring off for the parking brake assembly. All right, there's the spring. Now we just need to take the adjuster out. Like that. So there we go. So now we can get the bolt in there. And then what we just need to do is tighten that down to get it to seat in there. So I'm just going to check and make sure the bolt fits. So all you want to do is put some washers on it so we can run a socket down, or a lug nut down on it. We'll grab an old lug nut, and we're just going to want to seat that just to make sure it's seated before we do anything else. And we got, that should be good enough, but it'll pull on in there.